Next thing we're going to do is our mask. So let's select the title, and we're going to make a new layer. We're going to call this the mask layer, M-A-S. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to make a stroke and fill color. So we're going to choose our rectangle, and I like to use red, and we're going to place this right over top of the Jenny's mask. And then what we're going to do is select it, get our selection tool, and right click to make it convert to symbol, which I think that's the F8 key would be the quicker way in. And then we're going to name this MASK. Okay. And it's a movie clip. Okay. So we've converted it. Oh, you know, we should have called it, instead of mask, we should have called it rectangle to get our name straight. So let's RECTANGLE, so you can follow along with the text in the book. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is insert a keyframe at frame 35, F6. Okay, and then at frame 1, we'll move this off here, and we'll insert a motion tween, and then at frame 34 we'll add a keyframe and then put it back like that. Okay, now what we need to do is change the type of this to mask is okay, so all the way down at the bottom, if you right click on the, you'll see properties. You can change the property of that layer to mask, and then we'll select the one below it and right click and go down to properties. We're going to call this masked. Okay, so now this all moves right, but you can't tell what it's doing unless you do a test movie. So Control Enter. See how it does a reveal? Cool. Control Enter. Control Enter to test the movie. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is make our rotating thing across the bottom. So we'll make a new symbol. So in our library we'll make a new symbol, and we're going to call this rotating text, ROTATINGTEXT, and this is a movie type movie. We'll say OK, and inside of this we're going to add a text block in the center of the stage. So to get our text tool, you can hit the T or just type that. Now let's see, under text we can define the font, and what I'm going to do is go under font, and it's off screen, but I'm going to change this to Arial, and the size I'm going to set to 12, and that's all I think I need to think about. So I'll type out there the word shrimp, S-H-R-I-M-P, and then what else do I need to do? Arial 12, 0 for letter spacing. I guess under properties we can see the same things. There it is, centered. Make sure that you're aligned center. Okay, and then it didn't place it in the middle, but I'm just going to go back to, oh, here we go, 0 and 0. So it doesn't look like the center to me, but hey, that's what they asked for. Okay, so then what we're supposed to do is go to frame 15 and set a keyframe. So F6, and then we're supposed to create a motion tween, so I'm going to click here, right click here and choose motion tween. And then out here, notice that it's properties, rotation, and I'm going to just click on the times, and I'm going to put in 1. Okay, let's scrub, so it just does that, turns once. Okay, then we're going to come out to frame 20, where we will insert a keyframe, so F6, and then with our text tool, get the T key, I'm just going to double click to select and type in CATFISH, catfish. Okay, 35, I'm going to set another keyframe, F6. Then at frame 20, I'm going to set a motion tween. And then I'm going to come over to rotate 1, hit return. So then it's now going to change from shrimp to catfish and spin. So out at frame 40, I'll insert F6 keyframe, and then with the text tool, I'll change it to oysters, OYSTERS. And then at frame 55, I'll set a keyframe and motion, and then 1 time. So shrimp, catfish, oysters. So I'm just going to insert a frame at the end. Okay, then we're going to exit the symbol mode. So we'll come out of there, back to the scene, and we're going to create a new movie clip symbol, and we're going to name it rotating scene. Okay, now we need to make a rotating layer. So we're going to a layer for a rotating sign. So we're going to insert a new layer above mask. We're going to call this rotating sign. Okay, and then on it we're going to drag our rotating sign out over here, and then we can keyframe at frame 35. So F6, and then at the beginning we can right click and create a motion tween. So, and then we'll go to frame 34, and we'll drag this, pulling the shift key down out to the center, so we can see that that moves out. And again, we'll test the movie, control, and we'll test our movie. See how it looks. See how it's spinning? Oh, we need to, it disappears after it gets out to here, because it's back out off there, so somehow I should have had this be right. So I'm going to try to line those up. I think I got it lined up pretty close. Okay, so let's test our movie. Control and test movie. Control enter. Okay, so it goes out and it keeps spinning. Now I know this text is red in the book. It actually says to change the text white, so you can make that adjustment at step 19, where excuse me, somewhere in there, step 15 I think, where they had rotating. When we were making the text, you can make that instead of red, making it white. Okay, well that's the tutorial. Hope all this was helpful, and good luck with it, with the case problem 1 that you need to do now with all your knowledge. Good luck. Bye.